Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the channel and something a bit different for you today. I'm trying to keep my face looking this way because if I go that way, I've got one hell of a chuffing spot on my nose. Don't know why it suddenly appeared this morning, but it's my day off work. It's a Friday, and I thought I would do a little video on whatever this car is. What car is this one? What do we reckon? Well, anybody who knows their old classic Vauxhalls and Opels will know that this is my Manta. So let's do a little walk around video because I've had this car for what, 3 years now. I think it's about 3 years, and I've still not done a walk around video of the car. So here we go. Let's do a walk around. Here we go then, guys. So this is my Manta. It's a 1987 1.8 Berlinetta. Now the 1.8 on the Mantas, unlike the Cavalier Mark II, was actually carburetted. People will know that, you know, the 1.8 in the SRI Cavaliers and the CDIs and whatever was fuel injected, but on the Manta they had a 1.8 version which was actually carburetted, and that's what's in this. It's around about 90 horsepower, so it's not the most powerful engine on the planet. But there you go. So it's really nice condition overall up top. It has got a rust hole in that door at the bottom there, but the rest of the car is really tidy. It has had the rear arches done at some point in the past, and you can see a little bit of a seam round where they've been done. There's a little weld patch inside there that needs doing. But the worst bit, and this is the reason it's not on the road yet, is inside here. So inside there, and the good old swan necks and the front end of the floor. Anybody who knows Mantas knows that the swan necks, which is that bit of the chassis rail, is notorious. I'll go around the other side and show you. But the rest of the car is really nice and clean. It's got a few little marks and bumps, a little dint in the wing, some slightly dodgy paint on that edge of the bumper. Come round here, there's a couple of little marks on the bonnet, tiny little blisters, a little bit of a blister there above the headlight. Again, it's had a bumper corner touched in, but it's obviously had a little bit of a scuff on that corner. But it stands really well. It actually looks really good. I've tried to put some air in this tyre because this tyre's gone flat, as you can see, but it won't take any air, unfortunately, so I think it's leaking all around the bead. But this is the other swan neck. I don't know if you can really see, or you might be able to see. Probably ought to have put the torch on, but that's the worst one. But on this side's really nice, really good paintwork. It has been resprayed at some point. That indicator I have got inside the car. It has got the GT side skirts as well, but they're not, I don't think they're original, they're like fiberglass replicas. And if I can show you the roof, really good condition, because these often go really bad around the sunroof. It has got a couple of little blisters at both sides. It's got some scratches on the sunroof itself. But it stands really well. Let me just get around the back of the car. It is under my conifer. I keep having to dust it off every few days. My driveway has got a lot of crap which I need to get rid of. Now you might notice the plates are actually Jersey plates. So the story is with this, it was an English car originally, registered in Britain, registered in England. And then at some point it got shipped over to Jersey, and it got re-registered in Jersey. Now you can see this side is a bit more obvious that it's had a replacement arch, because you can see that line round really quite obviously, and then down at the bottom you can see where it's cracking and bubbling. So that will need some attention. There's a bit of bubbling there as well on that rear side pocket for the edge of the boot. It's got the original 13-inch alloys. It's completely original spec apart from the GT skirts. Pop out rear windows, which are standard on these. So let me show you the inside. One thing it does need is a new window regulator. I have got one, I just haven't got around to fitting it yet. But yeah, I'll just show you inside. One thing I've always loved about the Mantas is the frameless windows. Nice big doors and frameless windows. So yeah, it's got the standard Berlinetta interior. One thing it does need is that little bit of trim, a little plastic piece that's missing on the ceiling. Just needs a good clean really on the inside. Little headrest stems have gone a bit rusty. Got a little bit of mould starting to show on the steering wheel. The mileage showing on the dash is 23,156, which I'm obviously going to presume is 123. I very much doubt it's done only 23. But yeah, one of the issues is it is letting some water in. So you'll see the footwell down here is a little bit moist. We have had a hell of a lot of rain and it has let some water in. If I lifted that carpet up, you'd see the state of the floor. It is quite bad. But yeah, another reason it's definitely got to be 123,000 is because of the wear on the edge of the seat. It's definitely not a 23,000 mile car. Now the original reg plate should be this one, which is still etched into the windows, D552 PMJ. Now because it's registered as a Jersey car, what I need to do is get it all done and ready for an MOT. Once it's been MOT'd, I can then reapply with the DVLA to get it re-registered in the UK, and I'm hoping they might put it back to the original reg. Obviously there's no guarantees they will, but it would be nice because it'd match the reg on the windows. So I'm just going to pop the bonnet, so see you in a sec. Right then guys, the engine bay. You join me a few minutes later because I've just had to give it a bit of a dust around. It's the first time the bonnet's been open in months. In fact, it's probably the first time the bonnet's been open in maybe even a year, maybe even longer. So because it's under my conifer, which is there, right above the car, there's quite a lot of conifer crap, leaves and stuff everywhere, so I've just given it a little bit of a brush out. It's still obviously pretty filthy and there's loads of cobwebs everywhere, but yeah, loads down that side where the washer bottle should be. So I just wanted to show under the bonnet. So yeah, there we go. It's the very familiar 1.8 valve, but because these are rear wheel drive the way they are, and they have the radiator positioned where they do and the big cooling fan where they do, the distributor on these is set at a different position. As you can see, they have like this gearbox that puts the dizzy over to the side rather than it just being on the end of the block there, because obviously it'd be fouled by the fan. I don't know why they didn't just put the radiator closer to the front of the car, because as you can see there's loads of room, so they could have easily put the radiator closer to the front, made the fan in a different position. But it's a permanently spinning fan as well, you'll notice, because it's actually attached to the crank. But if they just repositioned it, or maybe had an electric fan, they could have easily just stuck with a normal distributor setup, but they didn't, strangely. Now one good little upgrade on this is the fact that under here you'll see it's got a Weber. So they've long since ditched the original crappy carb, which often messes up on these, and it's had the Weber upgrade. So now one thing you'll notice, the battery is on the car. Do you know what that means? Yes guys, I'm going to do a cold start video, but that will follow, so stay tuned to the channel and that will follow on shortly after this one. I'm going to do it as a separate video. But yeah, one thing it does have a problem with is the edge of the wing up this side has gone through in a few holes. But what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to just try and cut out the rot and try and weld the original wing without having to replace the wing, because otherwise it's going to mean a whole wing having to be painted and blended and matched to the rest of the car. So if I can save the original wing, then I will. That's another bit down there as well where it's been welded. It's had a patch in there that goes through to the outside. But overall, the strut tops, all the inner structure is very, very solid. That's one of the reasons I was so pleased when this car arrived. Even the battery tray, it's got quite a bit of surface rust on because water runs through and just runs straight across the battery tray. It does look a bit rusty and a bit rotten, but it's actually not. It's only surface rust. Just needs a good clean off and a good paint, which is one thing I got to get done. But there we go, guys. There is a walk around of my Manta. I will try and get more videos on this car, as I will my other cars, including the Mark III, which is the newest addition to the pack, and my Vectra GSI, which is currently under that cover in the corner, and of course my Nova GSI that's in the garage, and my Mark II Cavalier convertible as well. So there we go, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one where I do the cold start video on this. See you soon. Laters.